Good evening. Would everybody, I am Mayor Mark Northrup. This is Hudsonville, City of Hudsonville, regular City Commission dated November 11th, 2025. And I always do this, folks, not because I like to hear my name, but I do, but because we're recorded. And so that time stamps it for who's ever to watch this understands why do I announce the date and the time and place, because I know you know me and what today is, but you know, this gets archived, so it's kind of important that we always introduce ourselves when we have any meeting. In fact, I do that with all my commission meetings, and I don't do that to hear my voice, but there is a reason for that. So today is Hudsonville's city regular session dated November 11th, 2025. I might add that it is Veterans Day. Would everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now it's for a moment of silence. Today is Veterans Day, and can anybody tell me why today is Veterans Day? And I'm going to look to you, Andrew, because you and I had lunch today, a free lunch.
We did have lunch today. It was very delicious. Today's Veterans Day to remember the armistice signed on November 11th, 1918 to end World War I. They made it symbolic at 11/11 was the official ceasefire time, although the agreement was signed earlier in the morning, but just a lot of symbolism with the 11/11 and, you know, different things from that.
And I know there's also been talk about turning Veterans Day into a 3-day holiday weekend, but you can't do that because November 11th is never going to always be on a Friday or a Monday. So, you know, whether you talk about the poppies, the flowers of Flanders, and the color red, and we see that routinely being sold for $1 by the VFW, the Legion Hall, for their charity, but that's symbolic of literally millions of men that died during World War I. And the unfortunate thing was the armistice was supposed to be the war to end all wars, and unfortunately the armistice wasn't really structured right and appropriately and punished a lot of belligerents, and that set the groundwork for World War II, which subsequently just continued that horror. So if we could all just take a few minutes and think about a veteran. Veterans Day is not Memorial Day, it's about the veterans. And, you know, and Andrew and I talked about this day. Veterans, you know, I think to a certain degree, in our culture, we almost pander to veterans. Those of us that grew up in the 70s and 80s, being a veteran was not a special deal. And in fact, into the 80s, it was kind of frowned upon. You couldn't wear a uniform in Washington, D.C. You couldn't wear a uniform in the White House. Think about that. There was a first lady that banned military uniforms in the White House. And I think subsequently out of that, we've become almost patronizing to veterans. Those of us who are veterans don't really think we're anything special, although we have one day a year and that's all we want. And how many donuts did you get today?
Just a couple.
Just a couple. So if we could just take a few moments and kind of remember the veterans. I know that we have family here with veterans. You know, Jack, thank God your son came home well and happy and looks good. And today is just a special day to remember the veterans that have served. And here again, I think most veterans don't really think they're anything special. I think we get a little uncomfortable when people say thank you because it was our job. So on that note, if we could have a moment of silence for our brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers and aunts and uncles and grandparents that have served our nation in uniform. Thank you. I will now turn this over to the clerk for administration of the oath of office. We had 4 incumbents running, 3. Well, really 4. There were 4 of you on the ballot, and there were political races. As I know by experience, being the incumbent gives you very much a leg up to be reelected. And fortunately, we have 3 solid commissioners that have been reelected, And I think then at Jill, I will let you turn it over to you for swearing them in.
Makes it easier for your son to look this way.
Oh.
If you want to raise your right hand, and then you can do what you need to do. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully perform the duties of the position of City Commissioner in and for the City of Hudsonville, County of Ottawa, and State of Michigan, according to the best of my ability. And I have the book ready for you guys to sign.
Hey, Larry, would you introduce your wife, please, to the audience? Uh-huh.
I have my other wife and my little son Josh, and his wife Suzanne.
Dan, you have family here?
Jack, you
Introduce your wife, please.
straight sweater?
Very good. Thank you, and congratulations, gentlemen. Now's the time for public comments. I know we have at least two here. Thomas, did you want to step up real quick? Thomas ran a campaign in Ward. Is it three? Three. So I was, I've acquired some camaraderie with Thomas over the last few months because I want to make sure I knew who he was if he was running. And I think you just wanted to address the commission, and we look forward to serving with you in a capacity in the future.
Well, obviously Thomas was great. I kind of got into this because I kind of fell in love with the city after living here for 7 years. And I want to be a part of it, so I tried to run and didn't quite make it. Appreciate my running mate or opponent. So. And hope to be a part of something moving forward. So, thank you.
Very well, thank you. Have a good night. Good to see you, Thomas. And I think there's one other gentleman from the community that wants to address us. We ask you to state your name, your address for the record, if you would.
Name's Ron Chick. I'm on 4480 40th Avenue, Hudsonville. I just wanted to address some issues that I've seen in Hudsonville as I walk around the city and that stuff during the daytime and whatnot. Retired, so enjoy the community. I've been here about 30 years. Love the community. So some of the issues I'm seeing is lack of police presence and coverage around the area. I see where they're hitting some places that they're kind of retaining to like 32nd or whatever, different high crowd, but there's other areas, like I live on a 40th, and I could count one time or 5 times in 8 months I might have seen them go by my house, and I'm out in the yard a lot. So it's an address where I have a lot of speeders, people on motorcycles that aren't supposed to be on there. I've talked to them. I've talked to them about slowing down, and some don't want to. They buzz off and they're going 50, 60 miles an hour, 35 mile an hour zone. Like I said, it's concerned about it because we used to have a city police years ago, and I'd see him 3-4 times a day, and I was working. I'd see him through my area, just patrolling through. If you've seen a little bit more in the city of them presence and that stuff, it'd be a possibility that, be less speeding of people and whatnot, the safety. They're seeing they're there, so they're thinking, hey, the police might be coming through or something. But they're not seeing them. Another thing, road signs have been destroyed and not replaced in the city. Different places I've seen where they've been hit, run over, pulled out then. That's it, they're not being replaced in the city, different places. People running stop signs, stoplights, speeding faster than they should. It's bicyclists too, another thing with them. They're not stopping at stop. I've almost hit 3 of them in the last year. Going up to stop signs and they run a stop sign, going right through. And I've talked to some of them and pulled up alongside them, and of course you get your number one. And so it's really sad because and I've told them, I said, and some of these people are our age. They're riding these bikes and they don't follow the rules of the road. Somebody's going to get hurt. That's the sad thing about it. Buttermilk Creek Park. Love the bathroom. I think it's a great thing that you guys put that in there. It's fantastic. But it's seasonal. And so I was wondering if there's any way we could get a porta john by there. Because I live 2 miles from there and I walk around and I can't hold it forever. So it's just something, this is a suggestion that we could maybe get something over there. Another one too is I'm seeing in the park is people are using it as a dog park. They're actually coming up there, they're unhooking their dogs and letting them run. And I've said something to the people, I appreciate they leash them up, because I told them, I says, I love dogs, but I don't want to get a bed. And so if there's any way we could get signs or something up there stating it. I mean, I see it in the city around different places, people, and they might be great dogs.
Very good, Ron. Anything else you want to just throw at us real quick, or is that it? These are comments. I think you said you want to make that part of the record. But
Yes,
just get your
please.
comments to the city clerk. Certainly, your issues about traffic and violators for the traffic law enforcement, I think is an issue that we all share here in the commission. I don't think there's a person up here that hasn't personally experienced the issues you are communicating with us. The fact that you're here today just validates it and lets us know how crucial it is to the community. We certainly will raise your issues back to the Ottawa County Sheriff's Department, who's under contract to enforce those laws, but I don't think there's anybody up here that's going to disagree with you in the very least, and I appreciate you being here. Your other issues about the signage and the porta potties, those will be addressed separately by staff, I'm sure.
Perfect.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Ron.
Thanks a lot.
Is anybody else here for public comments? Hearing none, we will move on to the consent agenda items. There are 5. City Commission special session minutes dated October 14th. City Commission regular session minutes dated October 14th. Planning Commission meeting minutes dated October 15th. Library Advisory Board meeting minutes dated October 21st. And of course, the accounts payable reviewed and approved between meetings by the Finance Committee, which is Larry and Tobin, and reviewed by the City Manager, the payment of the bills of $569,882.19, and the ACH funds disbursement of $171,483.13. Are there any changes to the consent agenda items? I believe you had one, Dave, right?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I believe we, at the regular session dated October 14th, the Water Resource Commissioner Joe Bush was in attendance, and I believe State Representative Slav was there as well, and I just
Right.
thought that might be worth noting as speaking as part of the public comment.
Clerk, can you make sure that we add to those minutes, and if you can summarize in a paragraph what they discussed, that would be appreciated too.
Good thing we have recordings.
Anything else? Hearing none, all those in favor of the consent agenda items, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. Consent agenda items carry. We will move now.
We didn't do roll call.
Oh, we have to. Oh, jeez. You get me every time with that one, don't you? Roll call, please, clerk.
Change it for you guys. So I'm going to say Commissioner DeVray,
Yeah, here.
Commissioner Grote,
Yes.
Nitre,
Yes.
Boheis,
Yes.
Camp,
Yes.
Branson,
Yes.
Mayor Northrup.
Aye. Consent agenda items carry. Now we'll be moving on to item number 2, which is city clerk CMC certification, and I think I want to read a certification here. Jill, being the quiet professional, was reluctant for me to make this part of the packet tonight, and I did not give her a choice because she's been a wonderful clerk, professional, and she is a leader of her peers, and I felt it important that we continue to recognize her labors and her professionalism with the city and with the community at large in the state. It is the International Institute of Municipal Clerks, and in light of the speed and drastic nature of change these days, lifelong learning is not only desirable, it's necessary for all in local government to keep pace with the growing demands and changing needs of the citizens we serve. Your city can take immense pride in Jillian's educational accomplishments and achievement of this milestone. On behalf of the IIMC Board of Directors, we are honored to endorse the conferring of CMC, which is Municipal Clerk, to Julian Gruppen, CMC of City of Hudsonville. We share your pride in her achievement, and we applaud your efforts and support of the role for Julian plays in your city. So I just want to make sure that was made part of the record. And Jill, as a clerk, we're very, very proud to have you, and you did a fine job in the last election, so thank you there once again.
Well done.
Number 15, if I recall. Once again, it was done flawlessly and without any disruptions. Thank you.
Here.
Any other comments there? Thank you, Jill. We'll be moving on to item number 3. We're going to move up item number 8 because I believe item number 8 is requires Dan. Dan, you going to step up here? We're going to get you out of here so you can get to, I think, your grandkid's birthday party or something. What was it? Something close.
Hello. Yeah, thank you for considering this tonight. The property owner, Woodwikes, they're looking to have this property developed along where the Highland Drive corridor would go between New Holland and Berry Street. And we had a challenge trying to find someone to develop it, partly because of the densities that were required. That issue was fixed in the zoning ordinance. But the biggest issue that's currently an issue for them is the design of Highland Drive. And it's actually a strategic plan item, is the consideration of what type of road Highland Drive will be there. So just wanted to get the input from the city commission on how you feel Highland Drive needs to be, whether it needs to be a truck route, whether it needs to be 3 lanes, or if it's okay as a neighborhood road, which is how the master plan calls for it to be. So I just wanted to get your input into it.
Well, Dan, typically we don't discuss the details here and make decisions like that. Typically, we at the city commission, it's usually yeses and nos and acknowledgement. So we don't typically have dialogue up here and debate a subject. And now, if we need to make a motion to support the discussion, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But we're not going to get into the details here because this is not the time nor place. We do at a work session, though.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, that is on me. We'll go ahead and we don't need a motion right now, but with further discussion being requested, we'll go ahead and schedule a workshop either before the December 11th meeting, with it being Thanksgiving at the end of the month. As an idea to put this in here. So that is on me, but we'll go ahead and provide some additional information, and we'll mark this for a later date. Dan, if you could talk to the property owners and just let them know that the City Commission requires additional dialogue. As soon as we get that scheduled, we'll be more than happy to get back with them.
That sounds good to me.
Thanks, Dan. And we can do a work session, 15, 30 minutes at 6 o'clock some evening, if we can't make it our normal Tuesday.
That works.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, thanks.
Moving on to item number 3 on the agenda list, which would be October Public Safety Statistical Reports, and I don't see, I see Captain Moore here.
Yes, sir. Deputy Chief Moore, filling in for Steve. Not a lot to share.
69 calls for service last month. I would say October was an extremely busy month for us, being National Fire Prevention Month. So we were at City of Holland for a parade. We were at multiple events for Jamestown, neighbors to the south, Georgetown to the north. Did 14 first grade classes as well for fire prevention. So the guys were extremely busy this past month. Throw a Renee Day in there as well. And then just our normal training sessions. We had a couple guys that did go to an additional training on lithium-ion battery emergencies. That was out in Holland City, so some really good some training there. So that's all I have for you tonight. Any questions?
How's the new cadet doing in the onboarding?
Last night was his first official training night, so he got to meet everybody last night. So in the 2 hours we saw him, he's doing very well.
Yeah, we need these, and even if they leave and join another community, I'm okay with that. But we need the firefighters in the community, and I know a lot of communities are struggling. So even if we lose them, hopefully we lose them to another community for the right reason.
Amen.
Any questions for? Thank you. Have a good meeting.
Thank you.
Dave?
Good evening. Just a couple things to highlight on the report. So when we did the outdoor warning siren test, the tornado siren test in October, I wanted to point out that that's the one time a year that the county tests them all using a battery backup system, confirming that if we lose power, we still have tornado sirens. And so I want to highlight the fact that we've got that redundancy built into the tornado siren system, because the thing about severe weather is a good chance power lines have gone down, and then the tornado comes. We want to make sure we still alert people. So, and that happens every year. The county tests them at least once on the battery backup system, so we know that all those components work. And when we get our sirens annual maintenance every year, that's also tested. West Shore Service comes out and they make sure the batteries work, battery chargers work, and occasionally we replace a battery or a charger or something just to keep things in top shape. Other than that, it was a fairly routine month. The Renee Day went well. We generally don't have any issues there, but it's also good for us to be there just to help provide a perimeter around the event. And we had a couple opportunities to help close the freeway in the wee small hours of the morning last month.
Yeah, what was the debris? What was that? A traffic accident or what?
I don't know what the source of the debris was, but apparently it was spread from here down 196, M6, and I heard like almost to 131 or something like that. Bits of metal causing tires to blow out. So our fire department, of course, closes the freeway up on the highway itself, shunts everybody down the ramp. My team's down at the bottom. We run the traffic light manually to give priority to the ramp and make sure nobody goes back up the ramp to get back on. But that particular case involved multiple departments just because of the miles that it covered. But I don't know details. Chief Esser might know more details than that, but I don't know where that came from.
Are we all set for the holiday parade on November
20th? Yep.
November 20th. I'm glad somebody knows the date.
A week from Thursday, yes. And I'm still getting a couple county volunteers lined up, but we've got my team lined up. At the meeting this month, we went through the traffic plan, made sure that we know exactly what we're going to be doing. And one of the members of my team commented, a few people agreed that, yeah, this isn't that difficult. We've done this a few times. We know what we're doing now. So the new route has worked out really, really well.
It's a very important, big event for the community.
Yes.
People get really excited about it. And so there's always the risk of something. That's why you're so important. Dave, I learned something recently. How many emergency management are there in cities in the state of Michigan?
So in the state of Michigan, I want to see it's either 14 or 16 municipal EM departments in the state.
And we are one of them.
We are one of those. We're the only municipal EM department in the county.
And I have to think we're probably the smallest of those.
Yeah, you're talking about pretty good-sized cities that have EM departments. So we are well prepared here.
And I know I can speak on behalf of all of us here. I can't imagine running or having the city without the EM department and how much we rely on you and the value you bring is significant to the community. As evidenced by our parades and all the events that you're there to make sure it's safe and appropriately managed. It's a huge benefact to our community. So thank you, and thank you to your staff.
I will convey that message then. Thank you.
Anything else for Dave? Very good. Have a great night. Seeing nobody here from the Sheriff's Department. Anything you want to speak to there? I know Tobin is very interested in the number of enforcements.
I think we all are, as evidenced by the comment earlier today too.
Yeah.
So it's not just me, I'm just putting numbers together for all of us.
So I do think that's something where at some point we're going to have to really sit down with the sheriff and have a discussion that we need to get more enforcement on our traffic. Particularly with the work that was done on 32nd, they seem to think that's a new raceway now, I think, in my experience yesterday. So and we're seeing that routinely across the city, I think. Maybe it'll slow down in the winter. I don't know, what do you think?
My son and Grand Rapids are putting speed bumps down the streets now.
We just spent a lot of money to remove all the speed bumps.
He lives on a side street and they're putting them in down the streets.
Well, I think we all can say it affects us all personally. I know, Dan, you in particular, and I know you too, Jack. I mean, we all have experienced some of these issues with traffic in our neighborhoods that's not obeying the traffic laws and regulations.
No, but I also think it's not just us. I think it's indicative of the society that we live in today, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We're not the only ones, we're not the only community having to deal with this. Doesn't make it right, doesn't mean we shouldn't do what we can to protect the citizens, but unfortunately, I think that's the issue.
Yeah. Anything to add to that, Tyler, on the Sheriff's Department?
Mr. Mayor, I got those statistics for Commissioner DeVray. I'm going to go ahead and add this as a discussion item to a future workshop, and I will work with you all on what kind of information we want provided before we go into that. And the timing will work out well because we're waiting to realize an updated Exhibit A from Sheriff DeBoer. So I'll work with you and the commission to get some information and make sure when we approach Sheriff DeBoer with any concerns that we may have, that we have the information beforehand. So I made a note to add that as a discussion item.
Very well. Anything else? Hearing none, we'll move on to item number 4, traffic control order. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve temporary traffic control order 25-04 for full road closures on Cherry Avenue from Allen to Harvey Street from Cherry Avenue to School Avenue, and School Avenue from Harvey Street to Allen Street on November 20 from 4:30 to 8:30 p.m.
Second the motion.
Moved and supported. Is this in, what date is this? This is on 11/20. What date is that?
It's Thursday.
The parade?
Oh, it's the, thank you. I was wondering if anybody was listening.
That parade you're all excited about? That'd be the one.
We've done this before and we'll do it again. Any discussion on this traffic control order? Can I do a voice count? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. The traffic control order is approved for the holiday parade on the November 20th. See you all there, I would hope. Moving on to item number 5, City Treasurer's monthly reports for October. I'll turn it over to the Finance Manager.
Good evening, everyone. Just a couple highlights from the state budget that just passed. There's 2 different items with that. One was the constitutional and statutory revenue sharing, and then they also did a road funding package. So on the revenue sharing, we were budgeted at $873,460 this year, but that's going to drop to about $822,763. And the reason for that drop is part of it's the percentage that they said was going to drop about 20-some thousand. But then also they are eliminating, they were giving us an extra 1% for COVID relief and then an extra 2% for public safety that we won't be receiving. So it kind of ended up going down about 5 to 6% versus the the 3% that they originally were talking about. And then also with the roads, so that we currently get just over $1 million a year in Act 51. All right, we currently get just over $1 million a year in Act 51 money. Next year, that will go up to about 1.4 million, so a $350,000 increase. And then fiscal year 27, they're showing another but a total $535,000 increase. So that would be about 1.6 million in road funds. So we'll be, in the next 2 years, we'll be getting close to an extra $500,000 in road funding. So hopefully that can take care of all the roads that we need to take care of. And, hopefully it's a long-term solution and not just a short-term solution there. So we can keep our roads in better shape. So that's the two highlights for that. We'll come with budget amendments in January for both of those, but just so you're aware of that. And then on to our summaries. Still doing pretty well in all the different categories. You can see the charts, the lines going every which way. And then on the investment report, Jack came up with a good idea. I'm going to start doing that. He asked if we could do a running 12-month interest report at the bottom here. So that way then you can see, kind of helps you remember, you don't have to dig through all your old papers to see the interest amount over the last year, so you can see every month. So I think that's a good idea. And then also maybe the interest over the past however many years, we could also look at that just to kind of see the differences year to year and then also month to month. Because there are some that pay out quarterly or, so 1 month it might look bigger than another month. So it's nice to get a average or running total there. So I like that idea. And then that's about it for me, I think. Unless there's any questions, that should do it.
When do we make the last payment on the 316?
For jipping, we can make it January 1st. We have to wait for the next calendar year. So anytime, it's due January 15th, but we'll make it whenever it works out for us to transfer the money between the 1st and the 15th for him.
That'd be nice to see to fall off.
Yeah, that will be nice, and that only have the general obligation bond left.
Any discussion or questions for the city treasurer? Anything else, Andrew?
That should do it. Thank you.
I see you brought your wife tonight.
I did. She got stuck in the car. We were doing our Veterans Day trick or treating, and
Oh, we'll try to get it. We'll try to get him out here.
Yeah.
Very good.
But,
Well,
no, yes, she's a great support there.
and thank you for being a veteran.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to the next item, which is for the, I guess, the bond issue, right? Is there a motion for 2007 bond issue?
Make a motion to approve resolution number 25-1824, approving and authorizing the refunding of the 2007 Wyoming water system bonds.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. I see Patrick Stazowski is here to speak to us as Public Utilities Director from the Ottawa County. So good to see you, Pat.
Thank you. Just here to answer any questions. It's a pretty straightforward request. We have the opportunity collectively as a whole to save about $880,000. That estimate is estimated to save about 2.3 cents per thousand gallon on the wholesale rate. So the savings are modest, but we don't want to turn away any of those. That's the midway estimate. There's obviously, if the interest rates are better, we could save more, or we would hold off if the interest rates turn. So this would authorize us, and then we would just wait for the conditions.
So when will we see this happen? Do we know?
We're trying to get everything lined up for the county board to take action in December, and then we could refund the bonds as soon as January.
So it impacts all the townships around us and all the communities on the system, right?
That's correct.
So some of them will obviously be a little more excited about a savings than, I mean, we are too, but.
Right. Normally, I'm asking you to spend money, so hopefully this is a welcome change.
Any questions for Pat from the commission? Tyler, anything else to add?
Pat, thanks for coming tonight. Really appreciate it. Thanks for your work on this. 6 communities total,
There's 7 on this contract.
7 on this one, and how many have approved resolutions?
You're the first one lined up.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Always getting bigger, or what's?
No, it's just kind of how it worked out this time, so you're the first one, and then we've got them lined up for the rest of the month.
And then with the assumption, which I know better to make, but with the assumption that the other 6 municipalities approve the resolution, it goes to the county board, are you anticipating, you have the approval, but looking at the language of the resolution, you are willing to hold off, you're going to look at the market, talk to financial advisor to...
Yes, we are not legally allowed to go forward unless we have a minimum of 3% savings. We anticipate 5% savings. We hope for more. And so we'll just get everything lined up, and then if the market conditions are good, we'll move ahead.
You talking about waiting a potential month, 2 months, 6 months? I mean, when are you looking to...
You can wait indefinitely.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate the work you do. I know sometimes you have a thankless job, and a lot of people second guess you, Pat, including us.
That's all right.
It's never personal, but I applaud your work and your dogged professionalism on some of these issues, because nobody wants to spend more money than they have to, particularly on utilities, and we know that's quite often is a hot button in the community. Any other questions for Patrick? Hearing none, the motion's on the floor. Can I have the roll, please?
Commissioner Branson?
Yeah.
DeVray?
Yes.
Bullheis?
Yes.
Grote?
Yes.
Camp?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, motion carries. We already did number 7. We still need just number 7, don't we? Yeah. The Highland Drive reconstruction from 32nd to Creekview. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to authorize resolution number 25-1823, accepting contract number 25-5494 between the Michigan Department of Transportation and the City of Hudsonville for the reconstruction of Highland Drive between 32nd Avenue and Creekview Drive.
Support. It's been moved and supported. Bob, you want to talk to us about this?
Yeah, this one really is good news and great news. And again, this is not a request for resolution to award the contract, but this is a request for resolution to enter into contract with MDOT for MDOT to basically manage the letting and the award of the project. But I did actually just, before I headed over here today, I heard from our city engineer that bids came back already on this one. And we were about $850,000, where I think you see there's an engineer's estimate of 929 or 926, so quite a bit below the original estimate. That's the great news. The good news on that is the $540,000 of it, I believe, are all grant funding. When we submitted for this one originally, I believe in 2021, that 540 was an 80% number. The engineer's estimate has grown since then, but still, $540,000 of what is likely to be an $850,000 construction project is, I believe, still great news. But so my request is to enter into contract with MDOT for basically the letting management of the project. We'll move forward from there.
When and how long?
Oh, thank you. I was just gonna...
Construction, I believe the contract start date is April 1, which is always an ambitious start date. Scheduled construction is probably 3 months on this one. Wow. Realistically, if we're looking at the end of April, by the time we get mobilized, it'll be a summertime project. Shouldn't really affect school traffic on this one.
You're the engineer. You got anything? You always have something.
I mean, I don't have any details on the project other than I know the roadways work.
Is it just roadway or is it curb work too?
It'll be full depth millinery surface, and kind of interesting on Highland Drive down there is we do have some questions about the quality of the subbase down there. We've seen in winters past, kind of depending on the weather, the freeze-thaw cycle, there's been quite a bit of clay that pushes up through different areas down there. Anybody that drives that, Commissioner Branson, you can see there's, I bet you 3 years ago, we kind of went through there and did a few hundred feet worth of patching where we kind of cut the worst areas out and patched it back in. But there are several spots down there where the base is questionable, so once we get things peeled up and have a look at it, Gonna pay close attention to compaction testing, moisture testing, see what's there. If any of the base needs to come out and be replaced, that's gonna be the right long-term thing to do. We'll look at that then. But to your concrete, there's always concrete allowance. There's no planned concrete removals or improvements, but as we kind of get into the project, find things that need to be replaced, should be replaced, ramps that need to be improved, we'll do those as we find them.
I have a quick question, maybe be not relevant, but we're looking at a developer putting some curb cuts along there in Highland. Is there any discussion to doing that during this or before this, so we don't all of a sudden get this road cut up again?
Yeah, no, great question. Mobilization, economies of scales, and working with developers or utilities in these projects is key. Bob and I talked, I think last week. We're excited that we're ahead of schedule on this one, knock on wood, in terms of the engineering, the planning, and getting this improved in front of you. What we will do is we will talk with said developer that we get planning commission a few months ago. We talked to them about what his intent is, and if we can make that easier, everyone wins. We don't like cutting up road. We don't like chewing up curb if we don't have to. That's a great point, and Bob and I will follow up with him.
Yeah, if he's gonna do something this year, that's one, if it's a couple of years from now, it's not an issue, but if he plans on doing something this fall,
Yep.
I would hate to see that road get cut up.
Yeah, great comment.
Any water and sewer issues here?
No,
Not a what?
no. So relatively new system, another 1970s.
Any discussions? Just questions for Bob? There's a motion on the floor. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Grote,
Yes.
Camp, Volheis,
Yes.
Branson,
Yes.
DeVray, Nitre,
Yes.
Mayor Northrup.
Aye, motion carries. Before we turn it over to Tyler for city manager's report, Tobin? Dave?
Yes. So I volunteered to help coordinate our parade participation. Bryn has purchased candy out of our budget to hand out, but we will be walking towards where the candy is passed out for the safety issues towards the back. If you'd still like to be up front by the float, you can. You just won't be able to assist me in passing out 12 bags of candy throughout the parade route.
So I can either be up front and wave, or
And-
I can be back and a hero hand out candy.
Yeah, I felt we missed out on the interactions with folks with the change in that. And so in my asking the question, Lindsay and Bryn politely volunteered me to lead the charge. So
So, if I'm understanding, if we're passing out candy, we're just in with the group that's passing out candy, instead of having a designated spot in the parade where you have the commission banner and people see the city commission as a group.
we could still carry the banner with us, but yes, we'd be passing out candy at the end with other groups.
Maybe Larry and I'll be up front. I think it's important that somebody from the city's up front. Let's you and I talk about that, okay, Larry? No, I'm not objecting to you handing out candy. It's just, I think there's a statement when a senior member from the city's in the front.
Perfect.
No.
One of us, anyway. Anything else, Dave?
It's my only update.
Jeremy?
Nothing, sir.
Larry? Dan? Jack?
Glad to have my son back home. He's integrating back into life in the U.S. and fortunately he gets about 4 to 5 weeks off.
Good.
So the state, his job with the state, it works really well with that. So he was at Gemmons today with the Customer Appreciation Day, spending some of those dollars, those tax-free dollars.
So tell us about Saturday.
Last Saturday was Made in Michigan market, and Brenna and the team did a great job. From their count, we were up, I think last year they said, I forget the exact number, 600-700. This year was over 1,000.
Did you sell a lot of seasoning?
I did. Had good sales. The attendance was great. It was very busy, very well received. Went very smoothly. It was a great event.
Thank you, Jack. Andrew, you got anything else to add?
Not here, no. I'm good.
Outside? Okay. Jill, congratulations once again.
Just reminding you of the meeting next Tuesday at 6 for the RRC.
Next Tuesday. Confusion on dates, so it's Tuesday at 6. Okay. And then Wednesday, we have planning commission, okay. At the next work session, we need to talk about boards, get some board names filled. Tyler and I have been working on that, and that special will be is that a special in 2 weeks now? Or roughly? You don't know yet.
I'll have to talk to you about that. We have the holiday, but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. I'll be leaving on Thursday and Friday to attend the Michigan Association of Mayors Conference in Bay City. Many of you know, and I have been a mayor 10 years now, and I've been asking for probably 9 to be a member of the executive committee. And finally, I think they got tired of me asking, and they voted me on the board. So I am now a board member for the executive committee for the Michigan Mayors Association. I have some ideas on that. I'd like to get Mayor Pro Tems on the board more, or to be members of the Mayors Association. I think there's some things we can do with maybe an endowment and a scholarship, which we don't do as mayors. I think the mayors could do a better job of advocating for some legislation, particularly in regards to budgeting support out of the state. So I have my own concepts about how we can leverage being communities and the mayor's role in communities. So more to come there, but I'm just letting you know that I appreciate your continued support there. These boards are very important. As you well know, you can impact people and communities across the state, just not your own local community. And Tyler, your wife got promoted, and I'd like to hear about that.
Yeah, thank you for asking. As of 2 weeks ago, my wife Sarah was appointed the deputy treasurer for Park Township. So she's been there 2 weeks. They have a leadership change ongoing right now, but she was excited for the opportunity. As you well know, she is sharp, and so far so good. She's really enjoying it.
She still sees a lot in you.
She's what?
She still sees a lot in you, right?
I don't know what at times. I'm trying to be a stay-at-home Tyler sometimes, so the success of her career is paramount to my future.
And she likes Ohio?
She loves the Buckeyes,
Okay.
just like me.
With that, I'm going to turn it over to you for your manager's minute.
Thank you for mentioning that, Mr. Mayor. As the mayor mentioned, board appointments, I've begun scheduling sit-downs and informal conversations with interested folks prior to the mayor's potential nomination of such. We're meeting with Wireless Edge. Remember the cell phone tower? We've been working behind the scenes on that, which has been a common theme for staff and myself over the last month and a half to 2 months. Really hoping to knock some of this stuff out formally in December. But we have a meeting Friday morning, and I'm hoping that we all have a potential action item on the agenda for you at December 11th regarding such, but I'll know more after Friday. We've had a couple hiccups on working to getting our city commission meetings uploaded to the city's YouTube channel. I think we're close to figuring out, but I'll be sure to send the link out to you guys once we get that up and done. Excuse me. Once we get that done, I'll shoot out an email to you guys with the links.
What's your mother watching?
My mother is sad, yes, because my mother is one of our views, and she does ask. So. I mentioned some behind-the-scene things. A few weeks ago, Andrew brought to my attention a software that we could use for budgeting, a massive time saver for Andrew and team, where we can provide even better graphics, charts, and be more transparent. And one cool feature about the software is right now when we adjust one number in the budget for whatever reason, Andrew has to manually go back on a lot of these charts. He has Excel spreadsheets, but this would not only be more public-facing, it'd be easier to understand. Where I come from, most importantly, it'd be more efficient for the finance department. When I took that meeting with Andrew and the software company, they have additional modules, including one on capital improvement planning and strategic planning. And I've been looking for the silver bullet with regards to a transparent, public-facing strategic planning tool, but on the back end can better allow staff to navigate. We've tried to use Excel spreadsheets, we've looked at other softwares. This could be the home run. I have to do a little bit more dive down on it, but if we were to go in this direction, it is There is a cost associated with it, but by combining modules together, we get a bulk rate, and the initial numbers are very palatable. We'll have a lot more discussion after that. I need to look at a couple other companies too, but what I'm looking at is efficiency. As the city grows, there's a few areas, public works, planning and zoning, finance is always busy, but those two primarily of, rather than just reacting to hire staff and improve operations, is where can we get more efficient in the operation to protect time? So these are some of the approaches I'm taking. Bob and I had a great conversation. We believe, and actually we know, we can do better with capital improvements planning. We do a good job, but we can do a better job. So as we dive into this, I'll keep you all aware of what's going on. We're not looking to do anything in the near future, but I'm excited about the opportunity. Mr. Mayor, you mentioned with regards to the newsletter about adjusting that, improving that. I've got with staff, we're looking at budget, we're getting some quotes in. We're looking at expanding the number of issues and the size of the newsletter. On the back end, I have staff working on a year calendar of what kind of content we want when. There's certain things that are going to be standard and, depending on the seasons. But we got a lot of good feedback with the newsletter, especially with the water portion of explaining that. Commissioner Branson, as you mentioned, I had a lot more I wanted to put in there, but Brandon had to shrink it down. But some of the questions that you asked, those are in there. So I do apologize, but we were on the same page. So we're looking the newsletter. The January newsletter will be the same as we've had it. And we may be able to make this change for the May newsletter, but most certainly we're looking to upgrade by the start of the next fiscal year for sure. So we're diving down to that. In terms of a big win for the finance department, our new payables clerk will start on Monday. Carrie, what's his last name? I don't know, but we can move on with that. We'll start on Monday. Andrew and team have done a great job prepping the office, and I know that's going to be a very welcome addition in the finance department. So congratulations, Andrew, to you and team on your new addition. One thing I wanted to mention, and I appreciate the approval on the Highland Drive project for next summer. We talk about money when we talk about roads. We talk about quotes and the bidding. We talk about the contractors and how we work with the contractor when they're here. Oftentimes, we don't talk about the capacity that's needed on city staffing end to support those projects. Even though we have a contractor, there's utilities, there are certain specs. Bob, I'm not going to dive into your area here, but we need to have staff present depending on what's being worked on. When we go back and we talk about trying to fix or put the 32nd Avenue repavement project in the summer, on my end, looking through with staff and capacity, trying to avoid burnout, make sure we have the right people in the right areas. Pushing 32nd back to next summer would have now put two large projects roughly around the same time, while we have two major developments going in the city that require a lot of attention as it relates to utility connections, planning for Terra Station. They're building a road privately and then turning over to the city publicly. We have to have people down there. We have to have people on site. That's an area where Bob and I have identified that we are keeping up, but at a rate that we can't continue to keep up. So we're working with the engineer, considering some other options. But I mention that because we're strategic in how we lay out the order of projects, when we do them, how we do them. It's more than just money and the time of the season. We're also looking at staff capacity too. We have X amount of good staff. Well, all our staff is good, but we have X amount of people that we can dedicate towards certain things that we know, but when the unknown strikes, we have to have the ability to be able to navigate that as well. So just a little insight about what goes on, here in my office and conversations with Bob about how we strategically, look at that even outside of money. We look at capacity as well. I want to thank Dave Nitre, Commissioner Nitre, for sitting on with Bob and I as we talk about the Outdoor Discovery Center and future agreement with the ODC at the Nature Park. Really appreciate it, Dave. Bob and I have continued to work on that to bring a draft agreement in the next couple months before you guys with regards to what the operation there looks like. We're waiting to hear back on the 2 MD&R grants associated with the ODC and the Nature Center. We're thinking early December. the state's met deadlines or pushed them back, but as soon as we are notified, we'll be sure to let you know. We mentioned the RRC meeting on November 18th at 6 p.m. We'll have Lee Young, one of the managers of the Michigan Main Street program, will give a brief presentation. Kirk Berschbacher will provide a Brownfield 101 presentation with the new legislation, again, short and sweet. Then we'll provide city updates, and we'll do a quick FOIA and OMA review. The DDA, the Planning Commission, the City Commission will attend this meeting as part of our RRC certification. So appreciate Sarah and Jill for working with me on getting that date in the books. Holiday Parade, November 20th, 6:30 p.m. Looking forward to it. Brunch with Santa, the second annual Brunch with Santa will take place on December 13th from 10 to 2. The early bird special on tickets ends on November 14th, so snag those up, save yourselves a few dollars. Tickets must be purchased on December 6th. Again, really cool event that we added at Terrace Square last year, and we're continuing such. And then another cool one, second to last, worked with Andrew, and Andrew, thank you for working with me. The DDA approved $4,000 in additional Christmas/holiday lighting this year downtown. But staff went above and beyond and put forth a really good plan that I was really struggling to say no to. So Andrew, really appreciate you working with me to find an additional $4,000 in the budget. But we're gonna be lighting up the service drive this year. We'll give a really a good eye pop along Chicago Drive. And then we're increasing the capacity of some of the downtown lights. Adds on to the parade, Brunch with Santa, just really, shines up the downtown area. So look for those. The plan is to have those on the night of the parade. And then finally, want to give a good luck shout out to Hudsonville Unity Christian. Take on Big Rapids this Friday at 7. And Commissioner DeFray's son is a senior running back.
Kidding.
Best of luck to you. Good season. Good season thus far. Good season either way, but good luck. Yeah, it will.
Where is it going to be?
At Hudsonville High School's field.
It's Big Rapids. And then I want to give a shout out to to Hudsonville High. Again, two very solid, highly ranked teams. The Eagles play East Kentwood this Saturday at 1 p.m. and that's a home game. So Friday at 7, Saturday at 1. But good luck to both squads. And unless there's any questions, comments, concerns, Mr. Mayor, this concludes my report.
A couple things. I can't understate the importance of the RRC meeting and what it brought to the community. I remember when we first rolled it out, we were the first one in West Michigan to be an RRC certified, and clearly it has helped us gain some of these grants that we've been very aggressive about acquiring. Speaking of grants, I had a discussion earlier this week with Bob that whenever we get training grants, we should put a number to those, a dollar to those, make sure those are on the spreadsheet too, because training, cost of training is expensive. I don't know if we always reflect that, but we should try to capture that. Because here again, for me, it's a brag point of how we're saving money and looking for resources externally. So Bob and I had a discussion on that, and I thank you, Bob. Newsletter, you know how I feel about that. People do read that. I mean, that's the one thing I find out. Some people read Facebook, some people listen to radio, some people don't listen to do anything. But there's something about the newsletter, I think we all know. When you get it in the mail, I think everybody I talk to reads it. And I think that's just an opportunity for us to explain to the community more often what we are about as a commission and a city government and the good work we do for them. And I know, we all know that when communities don't do that, there gets to be backlash, as evidenced by what we've seen in some of the townships. Finally, I just want to thank you for the work on the design of Highland Park Extension. That's huge. Once again, that's going to be so well needed, and I know it's going to be disruptive for you for a few months, but it's going to be a huge thing to get that upgraded. And finally, I just want to tell you, Tyler, your weeklies have been really great lately, and I go back to your staff quite often with comments, usually positive or a question, and they always ask me, like, you actually read that? And I tell them I read every word, every week, I always have and always will. And I suspect that I am not alone in that. I think,
I do
I think that all the commissioners, when I see that come across my email on Friday afternoon,
I've skipped a word at times, just to be transparent up here.
okay.
I think my email server must be a little slow because sometimes I don't get it till
Sunday?
later.
I'll check with IT on that. Or I could just say, yeah, I'm working on Sunday nights, planning my next week and hammering it down there, make sure I'm not missing any details over the weekend.
But nonetheless, all levity aside, thank you, Tyler, for those weekly reports, and I know the staff goes through a lot of effort to pull it together. I know Jill's always rolling her eyes on Friday afternoon sometimes about where is everybody's input. Right, Jill? Maybe.
I plead the fifth.
You can take the fifth, but it is a valuable tool to communicate with us about what is happening in the city, because there's a really lot of good stuff here, and we should all applaud ourselves a little bit. I mean, there's been a lot of work, a lot of controversy, but I sometimes think we don't do enough to recognize each other. With that, is there anything else that needs to come before the commission tonight? We are adjourned.